Hello, and welcome to the Global Executive Training and Development Association podcast with Dr. Kamal Ranasinghe. Today on Global Reflections, Dr. Ranasinghe will be answering some questions for us that have been submitted by viewers like yourself. Dr. Ranasinghe, when it was known that you were going to start doing podcasts, questions began to come in from students, friends, and other globally minded individuals. I thought we would take some time to take some of these questions and pose them to you. One of the first questions asks, you say nowhere is too far, to remind your students that the global environment is closer than they think. But the world is in fact here on our doorstep. They are from the United Arab Emirates, from Singapore, Russia, the People's Republic of China, etc. Why don't people recognize it? Or why do people insist on ignoring it?
Well, I think people are comfortable with not having to recognize that today they have to compete with talent from all over the world. I say nowhere is too far. Right at the moment we're in San Diego. It's 10.5 hours to London. There's a direct flight from San Diego to London. In December of this year, Japan Airlines will fly directly from San Diego to Tokyo Narita. And that's another 10.5 hours the other way around. What is it, Mosi boy? Yes, what is it? Yes, good boy. All right. You want to talk too? Yes, go on. All right. The issue is that the rest of the world sends their very best and their brightest at us. Not just to the United States, but to the Western Hemisphere. And the Western Hemisphere sends its best and brightest to the rest of the world. In an increasingly connected global environment, with the massive advances in communication, the massive advances in travel, the world is in fact getting smaller. Nations embark on immigration policies which are expressly intended to bring the best and brightest from all over the world to their shores. These people will bring their qualifications, their talent, their verve, their determination to succeed, and they will feed in to the employee constituency. In many instances, they will become employers. The demography of any nation's employer environment, employee environment, is changing, and quite dramatically. There is a complacency, to answer your question, there is a complacency. It oftentimes makes people uncomfortable that they will now be measured up by a wider and stronger yardstick, a yardstick that requires that they do not see themselves as competent, as finished, just by dint of a circumscribed, for want of a better way of expressing oneself, insular measurement. There is comfort in feeling that you know all that there is to know because you were raised in a very comfortable domestic training environment. Using the United States again, and it's just unfair to just use the United States, but if all you need to know to be a business person is steeped in the realities of the US dollar, if all you need to know to be a business person is steeped in the realities of United States law, that's fine, as long as everything that you ever have to do for the rest of your professional life is going to be about the United States of America. The problem is that the world has not stayed static. The rest of the world is here, and they bring all their heritage and they bring all their expertise, and they now feed in to our circumstance. They may not challenge the sitting Americans, for want of a better way of expressing oneself, but they will have different perspectives, probably from a wider range of thought, cultures. They will have a background steeped in not just a couple of 100 or 300 years of heritage, as in the United States, but thousands of years of heritage. And they may not wear it on their sleeve like a chevron, but it's there. So the question that comes up, when I say nowhere is too far, it's sort of twofold. Number one, there is this somewhat arrogant presumption in the Western Hemisphere that when we use the words global endeavor, somehow there's a presumption that it's the Western Hemisphere going at the rest of the world. That is an archaic sort of thinking, probably vested in the colonial era. Today the rest of the world is here, in our neighborhood, it's in your backyard, it's in your workplace. That's all I meant. They haven't waited cap in hand, supine, for us to come at them with our supposed largesse. That's what my thought was.
Thank you for watching Q&A with Dr. R. If you have any questions for us, or if you would like to learn more, please visit the GETDA website at www.globalexecutives.org. Join us again for another episode of Global Reflections. On behalf of Dr. Ranasinghe, thank you for watching.